Ever found yourself standing in the kitchen, staring into the fridge like you're waiting for a life-changing prophecy to emerge from behind the ketchup? Or picked up your phone to check just one notification, only to find yourself 3 hours deep into a video of a raccoon washing grapes, completely forgetting why you picked up your phone in the first place? Yeah, me too. For years, distraction wasn't just a habit, it felt like my identity. I could have written a best-selling book titled, How to Never Finish Anything, if I had ever finished it. I wasn't just lost in distraction, I was the distraction. But then, I hit a different kind of tired. Not the kind that sleep fixes. The kind that whispers, "You're not really living, you're just buffering." That moment became a turning point. I knew something had to change. And it did. What follows are 7 real, honest, non-gimmicky things I did to regain my focus. Number 5 AM boot camps. No productivity cult tricks. Just grounded changes from one imperfect, beautifully messy human to another. At one point, my phone had more control over my life than my own brain. I'd wake up and immediately be sucked into Instagram, scrolling through someone's beach vacation while I was still crusty-eyed and tangled in bedsheets. So, I started leaving my phone in another room whenever I needed to focus. At first, it felt like I was a Victorian ghost wandering aimlessly, disconnected from the digital world. But eventually, the panic faded. My brain stopped expecting constant stimulation. Silence stopped feeling like punishment. It started to feel like peace. Distractions don't just come from the outside, they often come from within. My own thoughts were hijacking my attention. One second I'd be working, the next I was Googling how jelly beans are made or thinking about starting a sourdough blog. So, I trained myself to pause. I kept a distraction list, a place to jot down every random idea so I could return to it later. And guess what? 90% of the time, I never did. Most of it wasn't urgent. It was just my brain looking for a dopamine snack. Focus became a discipline of saying no, even to myself. For a long time, I tried to focus wherever I was, my bed, the couch, the floor, don't judge. But those places carried mental associations, rest, entertainment, zoning out. So, I carved out a small, intentional space. A simple desk, a chair that didn't scream, "Nap on me." This tiny shift made a big impact. Our brains are like puppies. They respond to cues and repetition. When you give your focus a home, it begins to show up more consistently. Remember as a kid, staring at clouds for an hour was just Tuesday? Now, the second we're bored, we grab our phones like we're gasping for air. I had to unlearn the idea that stillness equals laziness. I began giving myself 5-minute pockets of pure nothingness. No music, no scrolling, just silence. At first, time felt like it was moving in slow motion. But with practice, my brain began clearing out the noise. Surprisingly, the more I allowed boredom, the less I craved distraction. This one might sound odd, but it worked. I started doing things for my future self. Every time I wanted to procrastinate, I'd pause and ask, how will future me feel about this? That version of me, the one I wanted to be proud of, became a quiet but powerful motivator. Sometimes I'd write notes to them. Hey, this sucks now, but I'm doing it for you. Corny? Maybe. Effective? Incredibly. There's fake rest, when you lie down but your brain is sprinting a marathon through TikTok, YouTube, and existential dread. And then there's real rest, the kind that makes your body sigh with relief, your nervous system exhale. I used to confuse zoning out with recharging. I'd binge shows, scroll endlessly, and then wonder why I felt mentally bloated. So I shifted. I created intentional rituals for rest, cozy blankets, dimmed lights, warm tea, not for aesthetics, but for safety. Rest became sacred, not earned. Not a reward for productivity, but a basic human need. Maybe the most important thing I did was this: I forgave myself. For the missed deadlines, the forgotten goals, the half-finished dreams. For too long, shame weighed me down like a backpack full of bricks. When I failed, I doubled down, criticized myself, spiral into more distraction. Now, I speak to myself like a friend would. I say, okay, we slipped. Let's get back up. I no longer treat focus like punishment, it's coming home. I don't expect perfection anymore. I expect return. Again and again. Before I end, let me share a story I think about often. A student once asked a monk, "Master, why do you sweep the courtyard every day if the leaves keep falling?" The monk smiled and said, "Because the leaves keep falling. That's life. Distractions, noise, chaos, they'll always come. But we return. We keep sweeping. That's the practice. That's the beauty. If your brain feels like a cluttered desktop or your focus feels like papier-mâché in a hurricane, hear me clearly, you are not broken. You are human. This is hard. But you can always come back, one breath, one pause, one choice at a time. You're not starting over. You're continuing, with strength, with grace, with courage. And I'm proud of you for that. So, go sweep your leaves.